A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And looking out the window, I can't report a beautiful sunny sky, but we've had a lovely day. It has been quite sunny and very pleasant with very little wind from the north. But now I wrote down a quarter of an hour ago 85% cloud cover, but I'd say it's closer to 95% now. 19 degrees though, 1022.5 and slowly dropping as that anticyclone moves off, and about 7 knots from the north. Well, we've had a report from Rusula. Thank you very much for that, Craig. That in Minerva, they arrived this morning and there are about 26 boats there. It saves me trying to count up all the little purple spots. And it's a fairly decent day in Minerva, east 15 to 20. But I see sailing vessel Jan took off. And we've still got a few boats on passage. Start usually. Well, before I start, I should comment on the AIS. Some people have AISs that are really slow, and I'm wondering why. And it prompted me to go back to the very useful paper that Phil from Silhouette wrote about AISs and the reasons why some of them are some few hours behind others in the similar area. And it's really worthwhile you're reading that yourself, but there's sort of several things to look at. The coax cable, of course, whether you use a splitter or not between the VHF and the AIS, what sort of class of AIS. There's two different sorts actually. One uses 2 watts and one uses 5 watts. And needless to say, the 5 watt one will be stronger and more reliable in terms of giving a more frequent signal. And of course, the brand of the AIS. So it's worthwhile if you hear me commenting that yours is not doing as good as it should be. And a couple of boats, for example, Old Marie and Freya, not having a very rapid response. I think Freya, yours, Susan, is about 5 hours behind at the moment, as is Old Marie. So just have a look at that when you've got absolutely nothing else to do, and it might give you some answers as to why your AIS report isn't as frequent as it could be. Having said that, let's get on with the boats. Not too many tonight. And anybody who wants any weather, David usually takes Sunday off from studying weather in the afternoon. I'll give you the reason why. It's the motorsport is on the television on a Sunday afternoon, but we'll give him one day off. And so if you want anything weather-wise today, would be a good time to ask. And he or just email in and he can do it whenever he likes. Okay, Susan, Freya, Gulf Harbour.
This is Freya. I'll copy.
A very good copy. Thank you, Susan. Your radio really does perform well. Must be a good grounding system. Go ahead.
That's good news on the radio. I appreciate you letting me know about the AIS. We will make a note of that and look into that when we're not on passage. Well, let's see. Today, overall, I've had a good day. Kind of squally in the morning. Cleared off this afternoon. It looks like it will be a bit squally again tonight. But nothing, didn't have any crazy strong winds or much rain really. Our position is 2200 south, 17717 east. Course of our ground is 358 true at about 6.5 to 7 knots. Wind direction is about 104 true at 20 to 22 knots. Seas are 1.5 to 2 meters with about a 6-second period from the east. And cloud cover right now is about 50%.
Okay, we have Freya after a pretty good day by the sound of it at 22 degrees even, 177 east. Steering still 358 true towards Fiji at 6.5 plus knots. and the wind is now east-northeast, 104 true, 20 to 22. So that's a result of the good speed. 1.5 to 2 meters from the east, 6 seconds swell, and 50% cloud cover. So trucking along pretty well there, Susan and Todd. Over.
Yes, we're doing well. Still hoping for a Monday afternoon arrival into Durham. Over.
Yep. Well, let's see how that goes. It should be. It's good timing, actually, isn't it? So I think David is saying that the wind's going to keep up. So I'll see what he says shortly. Okay, we'll clear with you. Good day for Freya. And let's go across to Melina Bonatti. And by the way, a seeker arrived today. Had a rip snorter of a passage close to the shore. Good winds and flat seas, of course, being on that side of the wind. So they were really happy to have arrived today. So Melina Bonatti, Gulf Harbour.
Yeah, Gulf Harbour Radio, this is Melina Bonatti and Patricia and David. Everything's good today, nice day, but the night was a little bit stumpy and some squalls, so sleep was not so good. But hopefully this night will be better again. We have 200 miles to go to the Particolari and then another 4 hours to reach the marina. So everything's in sight, so to say. We are 25 degrees, 13.3 minutes south, and 168 degrees east, 26.0 minutes east, sorry. And yeah, the wind is coming from the east-northeast or east-northeast now, 75 degrees. It's trying to go further north as it was forecasted, also by David, and let's see how that goes. So far it's okay, we have a nice close reach sailing, no problem. Course over ground 320, speed over ground 6.5, and some clouds like 20% or so. And seas are has changed to friendliness, 2 meters, 9 seconds. That was a little different tonight. It was really bumpy. And that's it from Melina Bonatti so far. Over.
Yeah, your east-northeast wind, is that about 15 to 20? Over.
The wind was 11 to 15 knots.
Okay, just checking on what the GFS had to say here. So you had a pretty good day after a bit of a squally night, and only 200 to go to Bellari, so the end is in sight. 2513 south and 158 east, and the east-northeast wind, I don't think it's going. You'll probably just sneak in before it goes north. So here, I'll cross my fingers for you.
What day is east?
Yeah, well, he's only 200 miles to go to the pass. So you'll be another couple of days, Monday morning. So yep, and your course is 320 true, 6.5 knots, and pretty sunny by the look of it. So that's pretty good. And 2 meters swell, so it was a bit bumpy last night, but with the 20% cloud cover, I'm sure you've enjoyed a pretty decent day. And so you'll be looking forward to the last part of your trip. And hello to Petra. Back to you, Alfred.
Yes, thank you very much, Patricia. Very kind. Yeah, we are positive. Everything will be good. We have a little bit of room to change our course according to the wind changes, so no problem. Over.
Yep, and it might lighten up a bit part way, but you'll still be on course for a Monday arrival. Okay, we'll clear with Melina Bonatti and go to the boats a bit further east. Blue Oceans, Gulf Harbour. No sign of Simon. How about breeze 2? I'd say they were both socialising at Minerva. How about old Marie, old Marie?
Oh, Marie, I received you. Take me over.
Yep, you're coming in strong as usual, Kerry. Go ahead.
Yep, we're at 26 degrees, 56 south, 177, 17 degrees west, feet over ground, 5.7 knots, course over ground, 017 true. Waves are about a metre from the east direction, wind is 15 knots easterly, and cloud cover is 10%. Over.
Well, I bet you've got no complaints about that. 2656 south, 17717 west, 5.7 knots on a course of 017, 1 metre easterly swell, 15 knots from the east. So I suppose you would prefer it a little bit further south than that, but that's nothing to complain about really. And 10% cloud cover, so a lovely sunny day. I guess all is well, over.
Yes, all as well. We did get a fish strike this morning, but it broke the line, so the fish running out there with a lure in its mouth at the moment, over.
Well, it's a damn curse when you lose a lure and you don't get anything to show for it. But, well, it's a step up from not having any bites, over.
Yes, we've certainly all got excited about that, for sure. We played around about AIS aerial today, but obviously it's possibly not gone through to those.
Yeah, do you have a splitter or is it a separate antenna for the AIS?
We have a separate antenna for the AIS.
Oh, that's so much for that thought that might be causing problems. Oh, well, yep. But you're not the only one with this problem, and also it could be something to do with the AIS reporting. I do have a couple of queries in, not the least of which is that one that you have a strange dimension for your boat, but they still haven't, well, I keep reminding you of that and a couple of other things, and still haven't had a response. It's in the process. Since Kepler took them over, marine traffic, it really, they are a little bit difficult to work with. But anyway, we'll hold fire on that one. At least it's putting out a signal from time to time.
Light winds tomorrow.
Light winds tomorrow, says David, looking at what's ahead of you. Light winds tomorrow, so that will slow you down a little bit. So we'll wait and see where you are tomorrow. Over.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, we were trying to make price up by Tuesday, we reckon at this stage. But thank you for the heads up on that other.
Yep. All right. Well, there's still plenty of time ahead.
It picks up further north.
It picks up further north, so maybe just enjoy the lightish winds while you've got them, and then be ready for the rest of them. Okay. I'll clear with you. Go to Jan, sailing vessel Jan, who's left Minerva, heading for Fiji. Are you on frequency?
This is Sail Vessel Jan, and we are on our way to Fiji now. We left Minerva. Can you add your copy? Over.
Yeah, I've got reasonable copy on you, Jan, and I saw you headed off. So go ahead with your position and conditions. I'm sure others still waiting will be interested to hear them. Go ahead.
Okay, our position is 22 degrees, 50 minutes south, 179 degrees, 31 minutes west. Course of ground is 3169 meters. Speed over ground 7 knots. It's very rolly, but all is well and on board. Over.
And the wind speed and direction, over?
20 knots at the southeast, over.
That's good. Yeah, thank you for that. So sailing vessel Jan is 2250 south, 17931 west, on a course of 316 magnetic at 7 knots. And the wind is 20 knots from the southeast, and it's a bit on the rolly side, so you're getting those reasonably short-spaced 1.5 to 2 metre seas. But anyway, you're doing a good speed. Have a good night, Jan and George, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to pass the microphone now to David, and I'll pick up anybody else after he's covered the weather.
Alrighty, good evening, everyone. And today we'll start off with Fiji weather, as a strong wind warning remains for all Fiji waters. Again, this is thanks to the high that is to the south, directing the nice, fresh, and strong east to southeast winds. The forecast to 6 p.m. tomorrow calls for east to southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, and virtually the same thing for Monday. For Tonga, expect, light to fresh winds with cloudy periods, and there'll be scattered showers, particularly in the evening. For the coastal waters, expect southeast 15 to 20, rising to 25 knots at times. Moderate seas around 2.5 meters. They're up there. The forecast for Monday is virtually the same. For Nuku'alofa, by the way, at 4 p.m., barometric pressure was 1018.2. That's 1018.2 millibar. And the relative humidity, 83%. And for the Minervas, I see winds about 15 knots, maybe getting up to 20 at times, east-southeast, and lighter for Monday, tending easterly, about 10 to 15 knots. And for those heading to New Caledonia and Alfred, that would be you, and have gotten, you're past 23 south, but winds 18 to 25 out of the northeast, but winds lighten up considerably as you close with Grand Care on Monday. I would expect northeast winds about 5 to 10 knots on Monday. So that should be a pretty good arrival for you. Looking at the big picture, our strong high has moved east and will be centered about 38 south and 160 west tomorrow, with a central pressure of 1032 millibars, so it still is very strong. Now it moves further east on Monday, with its last isobar just reaching the date line. Now a new high, extremely strong at 1039 millibar, that's 1039er, is centered near Tasmania, and its isobar is just ridging to the east to New Zealand. This is also on Monday. Now its center moves into the western Tasman on Tuesday, the 20th. So here comes another big high. And that's all I've got. And I guess we'll be talking on Monday. So with that, here's the chief.
Okay, I just looked up Blue Oceans and they're at Pangamotu. So all checked in and sorted out there, I would imagine. And I presume Breeze 2, I haven't actually checked on them. Breeze 2 is probably with them. Okay, is there anybody with anything? Gulf Harbour Radio, there's nobody on streaming chat. So is there anybody on air with anything that you need?
Hi, this is Ben Tiger. How do you copy?
Yep, Phil, booming in as usual. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had a bumpy night last night, but the sea stage has settled down a little bit now. Mintaka, can I ask, can you see Mintaka on the AIS that you have there?
Yeah, and apologies for not picking you up. I had got you out of order here and didn't write them back down here. Whilst you're talking, David will be talking, I'll have a check because I didn't see you, but then I've sort of been going to different boats. So to zero in, I have to have it fairly large. I can never work out whether it's large scale or small scale to get the boat names up on the AIS. So sometimes that means I have only a small part of the ocean to look at. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I'm just not showing on my tracker, so I just wonder whether there's something wrong with my Iridium But anyway, we're moving along at 7.5 knots on a course of 350 true. The breeze up here is 120 true at 22 to 25 knots at about 6 seconds. Our position is 2037 south, 17940 west. It was a nice day with about 50% cloud cover. We're 250 north miles away from Savu, so we would hope to be in there on Monday morning. Over.
Roger that. I'll just read this out first. Mintaka is only 250 miles to go to Savu Savu, and I'm just trying to get my AIS looking here, and I'll have to put your MMSI number in, but I don't see it. Oh yes, here we are. Yeah, I've got it, no problem at all, 28 minutes ago. So, yep, you're showing up. Not sure why it's not showing for you, but half an hour ago they've got you going 8.3. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Mintaka 2037 south, 17940 west, 7.5 knots at 350 true, and the wind is southeast, 120 true, 22 to 25. And I'm just looking ahead to see what the GFS has got. Oh yeah, it's got you dropping a bit tomorrow. I'll see if David agrees. And the swell is about a 6-second swell, so that's a little bit on the choppy side, but it sounds like all is going pretty well, certainly for your chicken estimated day. Over.
Yeah, no, all well here, thanks for Christmas. So, Mintaka, over.
Roger that, yep, and there's
Fresh winds, quite fresh tomorrow.
Well, David says fresh winds tomorrow, but that's not what GFS says, so it'll be interesting. What are you looking at? What model?
I'm looking at EC.
He's looking at ECMWF, and I'm looking at GFS, so we'll wait and see who gets the... I think EC is working better in that part of the world at the moment, but we'll wait and see how...
I'm also looking at Access.
Oh, and he's looking at Access too. So, all right, well, we'll be interested for your report tomorrow night, Phil. Clear with you. Is there anybody else?
First light.
Yeah, first light, enjoying Minerva. Sounds like a reasonable day there, Julie. Go ahead.
Yes, first of all, apologies for missing the net last night. We were pretty tired, and anyway, no excuses really, but apologies. Wonderful day here. It started off with the wind possibly blowing easily into the 20s and a sunny all day, and it is now easing east to 13 knots out from the east. Over.
Okay, so thanks. David says thank you for that. So pretty strong this morning, and now eased to about easterly 13. And I haven't actually checked the tides there to see whether everyone would be getting... I suppose we're all looking forward to having a great look around and a search for lobsters. There's a lot of boats there, so quite entertaining for everybody. And just a reminder again to those folk there that that paper that Rich on Pogean wrote about the various places in Minerva, for those of you who have put your dinghy in the water. I know if you're there a while, it's worthwhile to get the dinghy in the water, unstrap it from where it is on the deck, and have a jolly good look around. Okay, well, that's about it from me. Is there one final call? Is there anybody else? Nothing heard. If anyone wants the frequency, it's all yours. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, I'll be back anyway, and to check on these boats that are still at sea, and we'll talk to you then. Cheers, everybody. Have a very pleasant night.
Thank you.